Welcome back. Tonight at 10 o'clock, Lori Perez's special report as she takes a closer look at a fear that has spread in the state. We're calling it Islamophobia, and here's a preview.
It is an uncomfortable thing for good people to admit their fears might be based on stereotypes, might be based on nothing more than the way someone looks. The thing about Islamophobia is Saud gets it.
I understand where the sentiment comes from. I understand that people are concerned and people have worries and people are seeing images of other people that want to do bad things to us, and they either all look a certain way or they all belong to a certain group. I mean, I understand that.
It is a fear that was heightened in the United States after the 9/11 terror attacks, and it continues to spread today. So this morning we're continuing our discussion on Islamophobia, and we're joined now by Dr. Saud Anwar, co-chair of the American Muslim Peace Initiative, also immigration attorney Rabia Chaudhry. Good to see the two of you. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
For having us.
Want to tell us a little bit about this prayer breakfast Thursday, because that's going to be starting on?
Right. The Hartford Prayer Breakfast, this year the keynote speaker is going to be Chaplain Abdullah Tepli. He's the Muslim chaplain for Duke University, and he was an important part of the Hartford interfaith community up until a few years ago, and he was associated with the Hartford Seminary. So the prayer breakfast on an annual basis brings together different faith communities to hear voices from different faith leaders, and just gives us a chance to break bread together.
So who would go to something like this? Is it open to the public? Would everybody who's interested in?
It is open. It's open to the public. It's free to the public. It is this Thursday. There is a website that you have to go, and they would like an RSVP.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Doctor, what do you tell people about the whole issue of Islamophobia? Obviously, it's unfair to target an entire group of people who practice the Islamic religion, but then you have 9/11 and you have several other terrorist attacks that seem to be set forth by these Islamic terrorist groups or these Islamic
Sure. I think this is, there are people who have legitimate concerns, but when these concerns become out of proportion to what would be expected, that is when the challenges start. So again, this is a challenge that we as a community, all the society, not only the American Muslims, but everyone else in the society has to tackle together. American Muslims are part of the solution. They are partners in this whole process, and that partnership needs to be strengthened. The Islamophobia actually breaks that partnerships and puts us as a disadvantage to be able to tackle this problem. So what we tell the community is, look, we need to interact, build our understanding and relationship, and tackle this challenge together. If we marginalize the community, the marginalization leads to a risk of radicalization. And what is happening is the Islamophobia, the negative things that are said on media or by people or by politicians, or no counter narrative that is provided, leads to the marginalization of a community, and that is not healthy for any society.
I'm trying to figure out maybe what would come first. If Americans as a group started to tolerate all people practicing the Islamic religion, would there be less terrorist acts by Muslim extremists? I mean, is that...
I believe so, and I'll tell you why. Because this war is a moral war. And we have always had a moral high ground as Americans. But when we start to attack verbally and otherwise the American Muslim community, actually it allows the recruitment of terrorists in other parts of the world. And it is very well correlated. It is well recognized by our military as well. And that's why it is important to recognize that we are American Muslims are partners in this war. And then if we alienate them, we will be actually ending up losing the bigger picture.
Just a few seconds left, so maybe more mosques might help the situation is what it sounds like.
I don't know if it's more mosques that will help. I think there's more interaction that has to take place. I think you have to have voices that are balanced on both sides. I think the media needs to stop giving voices to extreme people have extreme ideas, and give voices to people who are everyday Muslims and moderates. And we have very strong interfaith partners, and you know, let us have the stage.
Okay. Thank you very much, the two of you, for coming in. And